Of Ghana is on Nigerian God pleasure, bringing you political news in our channel, Ghanatube. As we are committed to bringing you all the happenings in Ghana, here are some of the recent happenings. Please watch.
Pipeline. Well, now our reporter George Queenan is touring with the minister on that pipeline as the minister tours the pipeline. Recall that the pipeline has been taken offline to allow for repair works that have been stalled severally, including when this administration took over. There was an initial postponement of 2 weeks, further then extended to 4 weeks. Now the repair works are ongoing, threatening Dumso, but we also know that the energy minister had indicated earlier that steps had been taken to procure fuel for generation or power generation centers to allow for continuous generation of power and transmission of same. Now he's inspecting the repair works to ensure and continuous supply of gas through the West African pipe gas line. Oh, we're unable to take you to George now. When we do have that, we will send you over to that tour of WAPCO's power plant. Hold on, but let's stay on the issue of Dumso or power cuts in this country. We've got some facts and figures for you. Marina is here to do just that. Marina, what are we looking at?
Right, and so we're having some sort of, you'll be careful to want to call it a challenge or not, but it is a challenge nonetheless with respect to energy generation, which has resulted in quite a number of people not being able to get access to electricity at their various homes. But here's what our consumption has looked like for the year 2024 and what projections are expected for this year.
Right.
So 24,688 gigawatt hour is what we consume for 2024. There is expected to be a 4.7% increase, which means that we will need a lot more in terms of the energy that is generated. And in terms of the energy mix, where we're getting the power from, we know that Akosombo, the Bui Dam and then the Pond dams as well constitute hydro. They've constituted or given us some 9,943 gigawatt hour out of the 24,000 we enjoyed in the year 2024. But because of the challenges with the spillage some 2 years ago, there's been a caution to not to allow the water levels reach a certain point which could affect residents when spillage is done. And so that means that they've reduced generation in essence to ensure that one, the integrity of the dam is protected, and then when the water is spilled as well, we do not have the challenges that we have on our hands. And so by that, what we're going to be getting from our 3 dams has reduced, which means that a lot more of the energy we'll have to be getting to be able to power homes and industry will be coming from plants which solely or mostly refer to as thermal, where we get gas, LPG and not LPG, liquefied petroleum, and the lights from as well. And so that's the projection which we're seeking to enjoy this year, 16,997 gigawatt hour from thermal energy alone. But this is where it begins to wrinkle out the challenges which we have, because a lot of these plants are based on what we know. We receive gas from the West African gas pipeline, and that's where the minister is touring, and we're expecting a lot more details from George, my colleague, on. But we know that they run from Togo, Benin, and then to Tema, where they provide us with the necessary gas, which powers a number of the plants for us. I'll walk you through really what is happening now. And so there's a pigging exercise. We got the indication it's at a 70% completion rate. When that is done, it provides direct source of fuel to power a number of plants. And what are these plants? That's the Sulona Sogli, Sen Power, KTTP, and then AXA as well. All of these plants provide considerable power in terms of the mix that we enjoy as a country. Now, with WAPCO out of the way, it meant that we have to procure fuel from outside. You recall when the energy minister took office, or before he would have even taken office, it was one of the many questions which was asked him at his vetting, that he had raised hell or blown alarm bells that we didn't have enough fuel to carry us throughout, at least for the next 2 days. All of that comes down to money, essentially, because it will cost us some 152 million, 105 million to make these fuel available for the country. And so essentially it costs us money to be able to ensure that these power plants that we have, which rely a lot more on gas supply, some of which can use fuel, but it will require money. And money is one thing that we've not had a lot of because of what we've been at as a country. So that's where we are. That's why there's a challenge with respect to gas supply, and that's why WAPCO needs to come back on board as quickly as possible. Then we can return to what we know in terms of gas. With respect to the conversations from the energy experts, they've continued to make the argument that, look, we have a lot of gas at Ghana Gas, and so a lot of work needs to be done so that we can take this gas from Ghana Gas to power the plant for us to be able to get the energy that we want. But for now, this is what we have, and perhaps a bit of explanation as to why the lights may be going off at this particular point in time, Ken.
Indeed. Thank you so much for taking us through those. It'll be interesting to know, Marina, when that pig-in will be over through the, the WAPCO lines. As the minister inspects, essentially. Anyway, we will not take you across the regions in Regional Hub. Don't go away. Region to clamp down on illegal miners. The exercise is in fulfillment of a 2-week ultimatum issued by the regional minister, Dr. Frank Amwakohene, for miners to stay away from water bodies and forest reserves. For more on this, we're joined by our correspondent, Ibrahim Abubakar. Ibrahim, I appreciate you talking to us. Tell us a bit more about this story.
Well, so we do know that 2 weeks ago, the minister issued that ultimatum in a bid to renew its fight against illegal mining. Now, the Minister of Lands and Natural Resources was also here last week to engage with chiefs and other traditional authorities in mining areas, and just so they will be able to find a new path in dealing with this canker. Because over the years we've spent huge resources to end illegal mining, yet we keep failing. This time around, they would want to go all out, holistic approach. So as at yesterday, the military are on the field, moving from one forest reserve to the other to conduct a swoop operation. In fact, currently at the Nkawie Forest District, I'm told by the manager that the military is in almost all the forest reserves in that area. For the Jimira Forest Reserve within the Nkawie Forest District, just a few months ago, the manager was complaining to us that part of the compartment has become inaccessible to even the forest guard because the miners have taken over having arms, and whenever they go there, they tell them to move, else they will shoot at them. So they are excited with this renewed effort, so that at least we will see our water bodies being protected. We also find our forest intact. Now, the challenge has to do with sustainability. That is the question residents have been asking as to how this effort will be sustained, because like I earlier mentioned, we've had similar intervention, yet the miners keep coming back. So people are just hoping that this time around, the effort will be sustained. They would want to see in the next few weeks or months, they would want to see the water bodies beginning to clean up, and they would want to see our forest reserves also being protected. Because if we allow the miners to go ahead with the rate at which they are destroying the forest, then it will be a big blow to the country, and we do know the impact of climate change on the country as well. So they've started, and people are just hoping that this time around the fight will be successful.
Very well. Indeed, Ibrahim, I appreciate you talking to